It's Al Capone, Al Capizzi, oh boy, and welcome to another edition of Memphis Rap History. And today I got the legendary pioneer, producer slash DJ. We all know him by DJ Jus Borne. So we're going to get him on the phone and he's going to talk about so many cool things. There a lot of stuff I never knew, a lot of stuff I'm sure you never knew, but you're right here at the right place at the right time, and he going to give you that good history, man, straight from his mouth to your ears. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, talk to us in the comments, and we'll talk back. But in the meantime, let's get to the interview. DJ Jus Borne.
Yo.
DJ Jus Borne. Don't stop.
The one and only, man. They tell you it's a phony.
Man, what you said?
What's up, brother?
Man, everything gravy, baby. Man, how you doing?
Hey, I'm blessed by the best. No complaints about me, man.
Man, it's all love. It's all love. Well, you already know, man. I got to get into some history from Jus Borne's. You were there when it comes to Memphis rap history. You were there in the beginning, and I guess I want to kick it out by starting. What made you get into? What pointed you toward DJing? Want to be, or just be in the hip hop business industry in general?
Man, we talking 1984. I was in 7th grade, and
hold on, what school?
I was at Graceland Junior High.
Okay.
It was a junior high at the time I went. And I'm 7th grade, and I had some friends that was in 9th grade. One name's Travis. He was from New York. And they just dressed different. I started off breakdancing. If you can believe that.
I can believe it.
So that year I saw a movie called Wild Style. Mm-hmm. It was an old breakdance b-boy movie. In a scene in the movie, I saw Grandmaster Flash in the kitchen with like 2 or 3 turntables spinning. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I want to do that, you know. But when I first started, at that time, I was breakdancing. Then I thought I was going to be a rapper. And then the 6th grade, my dad had bought me some turntables. I put on my Christmas list 2 turntables from Surge Merchandise and a mixer from Ray.
But you just said the 7th grade, but you just went back.
That's to when I officially, the Christmas of the 6th is when I officially got my turntables, 2-belt drive turntables. Okay. So between that time, that Christmas, and the next 7th grade, when I went to 7th grade, I had got it a little bit, very little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So going from Christmas 6th grade to going to Graceland 7th grade, I went to 6th grade in Winchester Elementary. So anyway, seeing Grandmaster Flash, I put that on my Christmas list. My dad got me the turntables and the Radio Shack mixer, no crossfader, all up and down faders at the time.
Yeah.
So I see this movie. And then I said, I want to do that, but I was breakdancing, and then I thought I was going to be a rapper. So come 7th grade talent show, I got in as a rapper. Mm-hmm. And when they put the spotlight on me, I froze up. I couldn't do it. I didn't like that part. I was a shy kid anyway. I made all E's in schools. I was really quiet.
Gotcha.
If you can believe that too.
Okay. but you know what? Like I can see how being a DJ kind of, it puts you in control, but you puts you in the background a little bit where you don't have to be the upfront person.
That's what happened. So after that talent show, I never wanted to rap again. So then one of the teachers was a shop teacher named Mr. Johnson. That year, the Fat Boys, he used to be an old DJ, my shop teacher in junior high, Mr. Johnson, Robert Johnson. And that year, the Fat Boys came and performed in our cafeteria. And when he saw my interest in DJing and telling him about it, he let me start DJing all the stuff at the school. So from 7th to 9th grade, I was the DJ for the school. So all the South Cops, all the prep rallies, and even the 9th grade Carnation, I did that as a 7th grader.
Wow.
Oh, let me step back a little bit. Mm-hmm. My first love was basketball. So that particular seventh grade year, I made the varsity team, which the ninth graders was Tony Madlock and Ernest Smith. Some people that went on to do some things. I made that team, but I quit it and started DJing.
Gotcha.
And so I became popular around that whole Grayson and Whitehaven area as the dude that played Lil Shy Kid that played music.
Yeah.
And so this was not, it wasn't no Memphis rap at that time, you know. And so this is 84 going to 85. So go to the eighth grade, I got a 7-year-old brother. And by this time, I had started making little tapes, not for sale, just at home, right? So my idol was a guy named Sonny D on the radio. He was me before me. He was the first one to do all this, right? So my brother, that same eighth grade year, I wasn't old enough to do nothing but go to school and practice.
Yeah.
So my eighth grade year, my brother brought my idol home after school one day. One day it was Sonny D. I got home.
Whoa.
And my brother had met him at the club some kind of way. He wanted a ride, and he just met my brother Vince, and Vince brought him home to me, and to show everybody this little kid can do what grown people was doing in other cities, because it wasn't happening in Memphis at the time. So I met Sonny D, and I had been the same year I met Sonny D, and my brother had another friend he brought home named Boogaloo. He was in college at the time. So those two guys, I used to practice house music with Boogaloo when he'd come home from college. And by the time I met Sonny D, I taught him a trick that he wanted to know from Chicago, a DJ from Chicago used to do. And so instantly, Sonny D, from the first visit at my house, took me up on his wing.
Wow.
My name was Cut Master JB at the time.
All right.
JB stand for James Blake, which is my real name.
Yeah.
So every day after school in the 8th and 9th grade, I used to call Sonny D. I wanted to battle him. That was a big thing. It was no hip hop DJs really. It was only 4 or 5 of us, right? And I was a baby, and all the rest of them was grown.
Yeah.
So I used to call Sonny D every day, man, when I got home, because he gave me his number. And I used to, one day, he was like, man, he said, man, you're not ready to battle me. He said, man, you know what JB stand for? He said, JB, it stands for Jus Borne. You just a baby. And I said, damn, I like that. So that's where Jus Borne came from.
Wow, too cool.
Came from Sonny D, yeah. So then one thing led to another. So 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Then I went to 10th grade. So by the 10th grade, Sonny D was doing a national syndicated radio show on 32 cities called Mix America. He hired me when they came and got him from LA when I was like in the 10th, 11th grade. They came in and sent him to California, and he put me on that show with him, which it was only $110 a week. But man, you talking about somebody in high school, that was,
come on. And doing something you love and getting that type of recognition.
Yeah. This is before anybody knew me in Memphis. This is before anybody knew me. So I did that for years, and all the way out until after high school. And so the breaking point, I say by 10th grade, Sonny D, I was really full on with him at this time. And he had a show that he brought with Eric B. and Rakim and Ice-T. That was my first celebrity I met. So this 10th grade, moving to the 10th grade, I'm working at...
What school now?
I went to, where the airport bought our home, I went to Oak Haven for 1 year.
Okay.
So I went to Oak Haven the 10th grade year and got my first job. I was working at a place called
So hold on, when you said the airport bought y'all's home, this is when the Memphis International Airport was expanding and they was buying up property.
Right. Everything right there at Winchester Airways. The back of the neighborhood that's not there anymore. It's a parking lot now for something they built 30 years later. But I stayed right there at Winchester Airways. And so we moved to more like Winchester and Clearbrook my 10th grade year. So my childhood best friend was a guy named Andre Nunn that went to Winchester with me. So he was going to Oak Haven. I only went to Oak Haven to go back to school with him for 1 year. So that 1 year, I'm 15, whatever, I started working at McLemore's Market. And I used to work about 4 locations in the Mile and in Whitehaven, Oak Haven area. and on Lamar. So they had the show on Sunday. They had brought Ice-T, Africa Islam, and Evil E to. I was sweeping the parking lot. This particular day, it's the Macklemore's Market was right there on Rains and Elvis Presley. It was on Rains right there. So my first celebrity, I guess, Sonny D brought Ice-T to see me. So starting there, moving on to maybe that same 10th, 11th grade year, I started working at a teenage club in Memphis called 21st Century. I forgot how I got there or how they found me, but they had moved from North Memphis, where I think you guys were, and they had came over there, Winchester and Tullahoma, to this old church.
Well, hold on, let me clear it up. I was always South Memphis. I did live in North Memphis briefly because I ended up going to Humes Junior High during that time. Lived on Bonanza Street for a year. But most of my time was in South Memphis. I grew up in
Okay,
South
well,
Memphis.
I guess I met you when I started working. When you and Dirty D, the introduction to y'all was 21st Century.
Exactly.
So let's move. Let me step back a little bit.
Let me say this real quick too, because you're right. 21st Century started, I think, in the Fraser, North Memphis area, and I didn't know about 21st Century when they were there. I didn't find out about them until they moved to the BAZ. That right up. I'm trying to. What's that project? It was a project, right?
Yeah. Across from Lake Point, it was more of Oak Haven area than Black Haven.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so let's
Get
go
well
back.
Garden. Get well Garden, because my auntie
Next
stayed
to
in
Get
Get
Well
well
Garden.
Garden. Yes.
Show enough. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
I'm standing away. I'm standing down now.
So now, let me step back and go to the summer of my 8th grade year, going to my 9th grade year. This kid, I'm at a house party. I'm not DJing. I'm just hanging out, and I met this kid named Winston Rogers. He was moving into my neighborhood on Victoria Street, and he went to school with me starting the 9th grade. So Winston Rogers later became Tela. But he wasn't a rapper at the time. When I met him, he was playing drums. He was the first musician kind of that I met playing drums.
Wow, I never knew he was a drummer.
Yeah, so he had drums in his living room. I was the DJ down the street, and I walked down to hear him playing drums. And I never knew this guy had ambitions to rap, but we used to walk around the neighborhood imitating Run DMC, you know. Mm-hmm. So one day he asked me to borrow my equipment, and I loaned it to him, and he came back with something he recorded. I didn't know he can rap, but he came back over a Chubb Rock beat instrumental. He came back and played me a song. I was like, man, you can rap, you know. So that's how that started. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So by the 10th grade, he introduced me to Cody because he came from a neighborhood where him and Cody already knew each other. But he introduced me to Cody, and by the 10th, 11th grade, we became second level. This was 21st century days, and so it was me, Tela, and Cody. So I wasn't really into the rappers. That's how I got introduced to being in a rap group, was them.
Gotcha.
And so once I got in the group started to expand. So I was the only one driving. So I used to go pick up Tela and Cody and bring them to my house and record on a 4-track. So that goes back to another story. By 10th grade, I had bought Sonny D's 4-track because he had bought a new one. But one day, me going to pick up Tela, he tells me about this guy that went to Graceland with us named Dirty Pat. That I didn't know him, but Tela knew him. I was like, who in the hell is Dirty Pat? He's like, Dirty Pat, man, he can rap. So we go to Red Oaks and pick up which later became Gangsta Pat.
Man, wow, this is.
And so this was Gangsta Pat. Me, Tela, and Cody. Then Peaches came along. Dana Diggs. She was in that outfit that we had going on.
Wow.
And so we recorded all the records. I still got all this stuff. We recorded all these records, but in the middle of us doing stuff, Pat had got an opportunity to go to work with Fat Tony. Mm-hmm. And so half of that first number one Suspect album, he had recorded with us. But once we saluted him to be able to do his thing, because nobody was locked into none. We all was trying to make it, right? Mm-hmm. So when he got with Fat Tony, he went off and did number one Suspect. and he formed the Legion of Dooms, which was MC Rod, Slice, and all them. So,
but hold up, man. Before you go there, you just said half of the Number One Suspect album was already done within y'all
demo.
crew.
Yeah, it was Pat's songs. He was on songs with us, and I will record him because he was a second musician that I met that could play instruments.
Gotcha. So he had his solo songs.
Along with our records that we did together.
Now, do you remember some of those solo songs that eventually made it to Number One Suspect?
Gangsta shit. It wasn't on the gangsta. It was gangsta shit. It was about 4 of them, bro. I can't remember. Only one. First thing came to my mind was gangsta shit.
Damn, that's wild.
And maybe gangsters need love too. Maybe I have to revisit that stuff. But yeah, Pat had them demos already. But it wasn't Shooting No Knots and I'm the Gangster. It was other songs.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Wow.
I'm going too far. You got to ask me questions, Al.
No. Go ahead. I mean, I jump in when I need to ask.
So, okay. So let's go to the Gangsta Pat story because I need to set the record straight. So once Pat got his group and he blew up first one, the Legion of Doom, Pat had fell out with all of them, the first Legion of Doom. So in the natural order, he was interviewing for the second Legion of Doom. So he didn't have to interview. He just came back and got me, Tela, and Cody.
Now that makes sense. That's how.
So we did one show. Now Tela and Gangsta Pat couldn't get along for shit. So we did one show with Ice Cube down at the Cook Convention Center, and them cats couldn't get along. So I kept working with Pat. I never let people pick my friends. My friends are my friends, so I don't get into beefs.
Yeah.
So what happened was I kept working with Pat, and I kept working with Tela and Cody. So Pat interviewed for the third Legion of Doom. He brought over to my house because we did all the stuff in my house. He brought Lord Infamous and DJ Paul.
Really?
At the time.
Come on.
They was called. Let me finish. They was called serial killer at the time. So Paul and Ricky came over there and we recorded a song called Cop Killers. This is before Ice-T. And Pat did not like them. He dissed them. He was like, no, I can't do nothing with y'all, whatever. But on the side, I started working. I liked Paul and Ricky for some reason. I didn't like their music, but I liked them. I knew, these guys got drive. Mm-hmm. So I started working with them on the side of still working with Pat, which the third Legion of Doom became Hard Todd and Mac 10.
Mm.
So I started working with Paul and them on the side, and they whole first serial killer tape I did in my house. Man. It was their ideas. I didn't much have to produce much because he'd show up in my house with arm full of ruggers, and when he wanted to go, he had his own thing. I was basically just recording them and helping them out. And that's very important because it's gonna come back later.
Gotcha.
In the story.
Gotcha.
So I like Paul. He was from Whitehaven. He looked like he had drive, and he was on time.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working with them on the side of Pat,
mm-hmm.
which eventually I can just go ahead and tell you this because he won't say this. The reason why when we became Legion of Doom with Mac 10 and Hard Todd, we did a show in Nashville. The reason why I stopped fucking with Pat, and he may not know this, but he remember this incident. Steve A used to take us and do all these shows, and we did a show in Nashville at the National Guard Armory. And Pat and Mac 10 them got to shooting with America's Most Wanted. They shooting against each other in the parking lot.
You know what? Psycho told me this story.
I'm about to tell you.
Let me hear it from your
man, I'm gonna tell you the coldest shit ever, the coldest Memphis story ever, man. Larry Clark, I found Larry Clark as our manager at a wedding reception I was doing. Tela was with me at the time, but we met Larry Clark. So check this out. This third version of Legion of Doom, me, Mac 10, Hard Todd, and Gangsta Pat, we go up there. I ride up there as far as we ride up there and do the show. They get to shooting on the parking lot, and them niggas left me. So I had to come back in the van with the dudes he was shooting at.
Whoa.
America's Most Wanted. And so guess who kept them niggas off my ass? Larry Clark. They left me. When I got back to Memphis, I never fucked with them again.
Mm.
That's the reason why I stopped fucking with them. But I don't know what else you want to
Okay,
know.
hey, that's because I heard that like Psycho told me this story. So to hear you tell it from your point of view, that's
Yeah, they wanted a piece of my ass, and that 16 passenger van, Larry Clark helped keep them boys off my. I was cool with all of them, and they know I wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was a DJ in the 21st century. I was the engineer and the house DJ, so I was doing the music and sound for everybody. So personally, they knew, but they still was mad.
Exactly. All right,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, I hear you. So, but let's go back a little bit. So, when you all had the crew, and then Pat ended up getting with Fat Tony and started to go his direction, what was going on with you, Tela, Cody, and Peaches?
So Peaches, at some point, she formed with Peaches and Cream later on.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I say normally I say no to interviews, but a guy like you, I respect.
I appreciate
And I started saying I was gonna say yes to people that I respect. And so when you called me, it was no brainer. I'm just giving you that all these guys can dispute it. I was there. I got the tapes. I got everything. So and nobody has more Memphis history rap music than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there before it and I saw it come along from rolling in my summer ride to Sunny D and Cool K. I get money. I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really never try to. I'm still kind of quiet as a grown person. I never go out and try to tell my story to everybody to make myself look good.
Yeah.
Somebody asks me the questions, I go ahead and answer it. But I hadn't did my book. I hadn't did none of that. So I say, well, let me give some nuggets out. And because I see a lot of people jump out there to put their story out there to make themselves look good. And some of these people are not old enough to even know because they wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not my job to come out and say, oh man, you wasn't there, you lying. So I just stay in the back and play my role.
Sit back and listen and be like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got some more stories, some more history points. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. But hold on. So we in the so Peaches and Cream form. Y'all from second level.
And we had got into it one time. Zerk can tell you this
story.
Hold
on. Before you dang, I don't want to cut. Go ahead and tell that story.
But the story I was about to tell you how me and Second Level fell out. It happened in OTS, and it was a battle between me and Zerk actually on the turntables. Like I taught Gangsta Pat out of DJ Gangsta Pat, and he can do his thing on turntables too. One day I was there with me and Zerk was doing stuff on the turntables, and Tela and Cody, they was, I don't know, maybe I had an off night, but they was fucking cheerleading for Zerk. And I was like, God, man, and Pat pumping me up, man. You see your boys, them niggas don't really fuck with you. Laying there, got in my head, you know what I'm saying? And maybe or maybe not, Zerk may have won the battle. I was jumping between engineer. I didn't know what engineering and producing was. I just was the DJ, but I got into the rappers because of Tela. If we go back to the story, it wasn't a rap thing. You know what I'm saying? It just, it fell into my lap, actually, from one thing led to another.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we go to.
So you say you got into it with Zerk. I mean, no, you say you battled Zerk.
Yeah, we were just battling. It was just at OTS one day, and Cody, and Tela was showing Zerk more love than me. I left that day feeling like, man, So, it was cool though. I mean, me and Zerk Squeaker, all of us always been cool. But that particular day, I think it was more a pat in my head trying to make me feel like my guys don't. And so I was doing a lot of work with him, McT and Hard Tar. We later did the UNN Unauthorized Notorious Niggas. I think that tape, I think they put it out. And I got a lot of these tapes and demos I hadn't released. So it's some stuff like Pat ain't never heard. I got a song we did at OTS that is Pat, Tela, and Cody, Gangsta Tip. And it's jamming. And I think maybe Pat played keys, and we all did the song together, basically. And I've been going back digitizing some of this stuff, but it's like a big catalog of stuff, unreleased stuff that's pretty dope, actually.
Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to hear it. Okay, so second level is, and this brings me back to when I saw you all at 21st Century. Like, it was a lot of different type of rappers. I remember it was like you said, it wasn't a Memphis rap scene. It was just rappers from Memphis, because it was rappers and DJs from Memphis that did different styles. You know what I'm saying? I remember some people had.
We was more hip hop, and I remember Tela coming to us, me and Conan, saying, "Look, we did our biggest song ever." This before they did 5-0, because 5-0 happened at OTS, and they was the level then. They wasn't second level. Mm-hmm. So I remember Tela coming to us. The more gangster rappers was getting more shine, because we was, I guess you might want to call us a hip hop group. And Tela, we had a song that we went, our first attempt to do gangster music. It was called a song called "The Levels of Gang," and we got the biggest response. Keep in mind, Larry Clark, man, was grown at this time. He met this little kid. He didn't know Tela. He met me DJing a wedding reception for some grown folk. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "How do you know as a kid to play this music?" But I had been DJing for a while at this point. And Tela was, and then I told him about the group, and he put everything online. Larry Clark got the history of it, and he was there because my mom trusted him, and Larry Clark could come pick me up and take me anywhere and keep me as long as he wanted to, man. Mm-hmm. So Larry Clark really becoming our manager, which developed into what you saw, the professional part.
Gotcha.
And Tela Gemini, so he got the clothes and the dress. I'm a Capricorn. I forgot what code is, but Tela had the style of the dress and how we should look. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that, you know, but he got it. He still got it, you know. You see him dressed up anyway, you'll be like, okay, he got it.
That's what he do.
And so that's what he do, and that's what he brought to me and Cody, you know. So by the time you saw the professional look,
it
wasn't my mind.
And you had a manager. That was like, hold up, they just look so fucking professional.
Well, America's Most had a manager. I remember
you Kenny. Right, my bad. You sure right, man. You are absolutely right. And they look like a group too, so I'm glad you pointed that out.
Well, you got grown-ups with children and trying to put on a look for, you know, to get a record deal. Shoot, man, they knew what to do. So Kenny had them boys right, and Larry had us right, you know.
You sure right, man. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So
y'all a group now, and y'all are doing some things.
We broke up, dated level. I'm DJing for Pat. After the Nashville incident happened, I started fooling with them, and this is the irony of it. Once that happened in Nashville, I came back because second level, Pat, all these rappers that I used to pick up and record, all of it fell out. So what happened was I said, forget these folks. I'm going to focus on myself. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started doing the mixes. I met Jackson Brown at 21st Century. One day I was hooking up the equipment for a show we was having, and he was standing up there talking, and he just started talking to me. And I remember he was interested in knowing how this kid know how to hook up all this stuff. And, you know, I was the house DJ, house engineer, everything. So this is before they had a studio there. This is when we was doing the shows in the back outside and the talent shows inside.
Yep.
So I met Jackson Brown. He was like, man, I'm on the radio. I wasn't a big radio guy other than Sunny D. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Hold on. My bad, man. My bad. Because when you said performing outside, I have to ask, do you remember when Van Glorious, what's that?
X-Clan came?
X-Clan. You remember when X-Clan came?
I know you said that. Now, I forgot about it till you just said it. Yeah, they did come there. This has got to be 89, 90.
I remember being there because they had everybody signing up for this black. I don't know what it was, some petition.
Before, it was we had the pro-black thing going on with the message and the music before, you know, NWA came nationally.
Yes.
We had the message and the music, and then we was pro-black on some black shit, you know.
Yep.
I got stuff from Cody and Tela. It's still good now. There's some pro-black shit we rapping about.
Yep. So you remember that? So, I just wonder, was you at that particular one?
Now I forgot. You know, I maybe wasn't in control of what happened that day, but I remember now that you say that.
Yeah.
because I don't remember meeting them, but I remember the event.
Yes.
Let's just say that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So now you focus on yourself.
I focused on myself for the first time. And I had
Brown.
met Jackson Brown in the 21st century, but he was leaving Memphis, moving. He gave me the hotline number to Magic 101 at the time, which was they called it a bat line, the hotline. That's not the regular line, the VIP line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the big thick cell phone at the time. So he's leaving Memphis, going to Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn, I need a radio dude. He's leaving. Mm-hmm. So I promised my heart to God, Al Capone. I had a girlfriend in Dixon Homes at the time, big cell phone. Her name was Tanya. He comes back 6 months later and calls me. I'm standing in the projects. He calls me and said, "Hey man, they brought me back, man. I want to beat Stan Bell. I need you to do some stuff for me."
He come back with he ready. He come back with the competition.
It is only like 6 months in between the time because I had gave up on the guy because he was gone. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Life goes on.
But I kept the same. This was early cell days. This thick gray phone back then.
Yeah.
I was standing in Dixon Homes when he called me. And he was like, "Man, I'm coming back to Memphis. I want to put you on the radio, do some things for me, man. I want to beat Stan Bell." Keep in mind, Jackson Brown was the only one to do it, and we did that. So when I started focusing on myself, I started doing these short mixes for him called 5 Minutes of Funk.
I remember 5 Minutes of Funk.
So that's how people really remember me from Memphis, actually. It's about 91. I came on the radio. He started playing, the Par 1 blew up. So it was like 4 Pars. But they started playing this stuff all throughout the day. And the biggest thing then was getting gangster walk music on the radio, taking the cussing out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 6 months when he came back. He started running my mixes, and I started DJing for him when he went out places. I was too shy to talk. I didn't talk back then. I just DJed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn how to talk until 93 when I moved to Orlando. That's a story there.
I remember when you moved. I remember that because I remember talking.
I left Memphis. Yeah, I left Memphis.
Engineer. You were studying to be an engineer.
Yeah. I remember. My mentors was Sonny D and Paris Johnson. Paris Johnson was working Columbia Records at the time. He later ran Death Row and Blackground. But both of them at the height of my first popularity, 91, 92, 93, both of them told me, "Man, you got to do something else. You got to get out of Memphis." Both of them told me that. Mm-hmm. Jackson Brown, 10 years older than me. Paris, 7 years older than me. These are my big homies at the time. Mm-hmm. That took a liking to me that didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, and you got Jackson Brown, Sonny D, and Paris Johnson. And Paris was leaving Memphis to go back and run Interscope for the Southeast region, the Death Row, all that stuff there. Mm-hmm. So my partner was able to reach his arms to me. So I was looking for a recording engineering schools. There was one in Indiana, one in LA, and one somewhere else, and one in New York, and one was in Florida. I picked the one which is Full Sail University now. Mm-hmm. I picked Full Sail. So December 93 was the first time I left Memphis at the height of my popularity as a DJ, not with no rappers, not with when I focused on myself, I put myself on, and that's how I got popular. Yeah. After everybody, all this stuff I was trying to do for everybody else fell out, I focused on myself.
And it worked. And it worked.
It worked. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and I left. I used Andre Cash Money. Jackson Brown left and went to Greensboro, North Carolina after he beat Stan Bell to become a program director. And Andre Cash Money took his spot. So I used to send Andre Cash Money mixes from Orlando for the still play on the radio while I'm in recording engineering school.
Gotcha.
So the next probably speed up the process. I ain't gonna talk about I became a performance DJ in Orlando, Florida, Edenville Club Heroes. Penny put me on, Jerry Reynolds, Magic Club. He had a club. I did some good things there, but
too cool.
Yeah, so Jerry Reynolds and Penny, Greg Moore, One Love, they did that. Well, I had a Friday night every Friday at the biggest club in Orlando at the time by myself.
Nobody knew. Of course, we were here Had no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. It's Eatonville. The first black city in Florida is a city called Eatonville, and it's a historic club. James Brown used to perform at. It was called Heroes in my day. It was called Club Kaya. You can Google that shit, man. Eatonville, Florida, is the first black city. It's still there. I'm in Miami right now, about 2 hours away from it. But every time I go to Orlando, I go back and see that building still standing in that historic black city. So
Very cool.
let me move back to Memphis history here.
Okay.
So I told you I taught Paul and Ricky a serial killer in their first tape before I left. So by the time I graduated February '95, I went to stay with my mentor in Atlanta for like a month and a half. I didn't like Atlanta. He took me to see Lil Jon, Mitch Faulkner. Lil Jon was working in So Def at the time. So I didn't like Atlanta. The traffic, I didn't like the city. So I caught a bus back home May, because I had a prom to do. May of '95. I caught a bus back home. I had to do Whitehaven prom, right? Came back and bought a Cadillac. But by the time I had got back, Paul and Juicy had got together. So when I got back, I started consulting for them and helping them out.
Gotcha.
And they, so I worked very closely with them. And I remember Paul calling me when he finished Skinny Pepper album. He called me. I'm staying with the Memphis stuff with this story. I remember Paul calling me and said, "Man, I just finished a Skinny Pepper album. Why don't you come over here and pick the single?" So Lil Pat was engineering for him. I go over there, and they played me the whole album. And I told Lil Pat, I said, "Man," after I heard the whole album, I said, "Go back to the second song you played. I'm gonna talk on it, and that's gonna be y'all single." And that's how One Life Live became. And so I watched them boys make their first million. Yeah, I watched them boys make their first million that year, and I was consulting them. It wasn't on Mystic Style. It wasn't on Live by Your Rep. Them niggas did it on Skinny Pep. They won't tell you that either. They won't tell you that.
Wow. So yeah, you're right. Most people think they, it came from Mystic Styles.
Or Live by Your Rep. No.
So you saying it came
the
from
momentum. It came from King of the Players Ball. The momentum they had built, not to discredit what they had done, the momentum and the team they had built to put that album together led to it. It was the biggest thing in '96. And plus, guess what? Dre Money, he played the shit out of it on the radio.
Sure did.
So guess what? Yeah. 100,000 copies independent then through Johnny Phillips, and that was $1 million revenue.
Gotcha. You picked the single, you talked on the single, and so you was very influential in breaking it.
Oh yeah, breaking that whole thing and what they was doing then. So the next scenario with them, just becoming a consultant, because at that time coming back home, these guys doing their thing, I'd rather roll with them than get rolled over. I'd rather keep helping them
because they winning.
Grow. They started winning then.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather roll with them than get rolled over by them. So anybody at that time, I would have done anything to help anybody that got something to do with Memphis. So the final crazy story I'm gonna give you with Memphis, I ain't gonna give you too much.
I got you.
At one time.
I got
the final crazy story after that is the next time Paul give me a frantic call. Gangsta Pat and Lil Pat that fell out. And Lil Pat that ran out and stopped being their engineer. And this leads to
Gangsta Pat and Lil Pat?
No. Gangsta Black and Lil Pat. They was working on Can It Beat.
Gotcha.
And Lil Pat had did most of it, but we still at Paul Mama house at this time. And Paul called me like, "Hey man, I need you to finish up this album for me, man. Help me finish this album. Lil Pat left and he won't come back." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." So I went from consultant to being the engineer. So now me and Paul put together Can It Be, the whole mix of it.
Okay.
And so, and during that period, the end, chapter 1, I got credited on like 7 of their records because of the music in that period that them and Lil Pat had fell out.
Gotcha.
I worked with them and helped them finish those records as their engineer till Lil Pat came back.
Wow, did not know that.
So seven of their releases, we were using MVP at the time. I was mainly the mix engineer, record some. I didn't record a lot of it. I recorded some of it, but I mixed all of it during that period. And we was
Man,
on the 12 track, that 12 track Atom thing that Nico used to use.
gotcha.
It was only 12 track, 6 rappers and a beat. Go figure.
Man, that's wild. But man, I don't know if you got anything else to say about that, because I'm gonna go bring you back to a moment. But
Oh
before I
yeah.
do,
Go ahead. I'm just trying to put out the highlight Memphis memories without going to other cities.
gotcha.
Go ahead,
So
though. Go
okay,
ahead.
that song, the song that has features me, Tela, no, I think it's me, Cody, and Ball and G.
Oh,
How did
I
that
got
come
flagged.
about? Well, I mean, what was
I got nah. Me and Ball G ain't never got on the same page about that.
what you?
I think
Hold
man, we still ain't on the same page. No,
on,
but what
man.
happened was in the
I didn't
early
even know you.
'90s.
Okay, go ahead, do your thing, man. Yeah, because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was a cool. That was I think
yeah,
that was
yeah.
one of the first, if I remember right, first song that the rappers came together and endorsed the DJ that I can remember.
Thank you. Memphis, thank you, Al.
Real
You
talk.
remember that because I called you and brought you over there on the same folk track.
Yes, sir.
You recorded. So I used to do once I got popular on one. I used to do a mix show every Friday and Saturday, and I came up with this idea to have an intro for the mix, and the intro talked about me and the DJ and the mix. So I did 3 versions. The one you was on is the second one
Okay.
with Ball and G. But those was only intros to my mix show on Magic 101 back then. And yeah, I don't know how I got that idea, but I think the first one was Tela, Boss Game T, and Cody.
Mm.
Cody was on. It was 3 of them that was dope. It was one more after then, but the one y'all was on is I think the most played and the one people remember the most because one of the fans put it on YouTube. Later, when I was doing a lot of business with Paul and Juicy, I sold them a mixtape that they sold to Johnny Phillips called "Bite the Bullet." It was my
I
mixtape.
remember that.
So
And
they was
that
just
song is on Bite the Bullet, right?
yes. So that's probably how that one went out more than others is because at that time I had mixes and they were selling so much stuff. They was like, just want to give us one of these mixes. I will pay you for it. They paid me a lot of money for it at that time. So I gave them, I called it Stolen Records. My series on part one and part two is called Stolen Records. I never put it out. I sold them like a work for hire thing. And they put it out and renamed it and repackaged it and called Bite the Bullet.
Gotcha.
That's how that came out. But that was Johnny Phillip and DJ Paul and Juicy.
Okay.
That was their business. Once they paid me my little money, but part two never came out. Stolen Records part two. I can call it Bite the Bullet part two now, whatever, because I think they sold so many of those. I think Selecto got sued. That's probably my biggest mixtape nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
Locally, I got another old school baby picture that was bigger than that one, but nationally and sold basically the most copies was Bite the Bullet because I think it was up there in numbers.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
was.
so that and I put that on that. So that's how that particular theme song probably became more popular than
Makes
the
sense.
one. Yeah.
Makes sense.
With that.
What now? You mentioned Sonny D, definitely being your mentor. How did you? Let me get this right. Were you in tune with what was going on with DJ Spanish Fly and Rated J at No Name at the time?
Oh yeah,
Give me some thoughts about that.
Yeah. So Fly and what they did, Fly came after Sonny D left. He came up when Sonny D went to LA. Fly took over that mix show and what he was doing at No Name when Sonny D got recruited to LA to produce Tom Joyner and Scott Shannon show. So Fly, this is 89 or whatever, 89, 91 to 91. Yet Fly and what he was doing was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was different from me. You know, I was a little bit more of, I guess, perfectionist at the time. I wouldn't put out too much, and the work became sloppy as a DJ then. I forgot to mention two other DJs even before Fly. Fly got on when Sonny D left. Let me start there. So you had, before Fly, you had Renzi Von Zipper. You may not know that name, but he was a good DJ. And Al the Bandit, I think Renzi, in my opinion, Renzi Von Zipper was a better DJ than Al the Bandit. But all of them was kind of second to Sonny D. And after being the Fly era, he got his rocks off with the Trigger Man when he brought that record and did his thing with that. He got his rocks off with that. And we all sold mixtapes, but that era for him was big because of Trigger Man and what was going on with Trigger Man and Bellevue Patient at that time. So yeah, that little period right there, Fly was on fire. And I wasn't too much the gangster dude. I wasn't. I never portrayed I never was portrayed the gangster image, I'm more about the music and how it sounds versus the image of it.
Gotcha. So by Fly doing what he was doing at the time, was he one of the first DJs that kind of really went in as being a rapper as well as a DJ? And really kind of
he probably became the most popular one because Sonny did it. But Sonny records, it wasn't, like I said, with Fly and that Trigger Man and slowing it down, and with him start rapping, you can say, yeah, he probably ran that era because I was too shy to rap, as well documented in this conversation. But Fly did rule because I would say, up until DJ Paul and Juicy J and Squeaky, I would say Fly did that gangster image and that slowed down Trigger Man. So he did run that era. I give it from Sonny D left. I know at 89. I give it to 89 and 91, man. That and the mixtapes, and we was all selling out. We had about 13 locations around the city where we sold out. But Fly rapping did make
him stand out a little more because he was rapping.
He was using this, Yes.
He was actually putting his songs on the mixtapes.
He was the first one I saw do it after I came back and when Paul did it. I remember Paul had a club in South Memphis or something. I went to see him after. I knew I was in trouble then. I went to see him somewhere in South Memphis, and I had just got through DJing a party. Killing it with two turntables. I went over there and I saw this cat with a double cassette. Only thing he had was a double cassette.
Whoa.
And he was playing his records back to back. I knew right there I'm in trouble.
Oh.
This is what I'm doing ain't gonna work. These guys are playing their own records.
Wow.
So Fly did it. But I would say Paul, Squeaky, Juicy. I think they took it to another level.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you this. So do you think the fact that, because this is my perspective, I would say DJs like Fly, DJs like Squeaky, Zerk, Paul, and Juicy, I think the fact that they were actual DJs and they actually played the records at the clubs and they were able to see what worked and what didn't work, whereas people like myself, we were just rappers. So, like, I just speak on myself. I don't think even though I knew that I wanted to make songs that make people gangster walk, I wanted to make those kind of songs. I also was a hip hop fan, so I would rap over songs and beats and stuff that wasn't necessarily gangster walk songs. And I think that they, being DJs, locked into the fact that don't do nothing but songs that make them gay, because you at the club playing the record, so that just do that.
They had the edge, but I think you found your way when SMK and you did Lyrical Drive-By. It was no turning back at that point. So when with that sound that when he came with that thing he was doing, I think along with what you already was doing, I think SMK was around long enough to see what was going on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time y'all hooked up with that song, that was you found your way right then.
Yeah,
because
but
I don't remember nothing else before then.
well, yeah, and I had stuff before then. But even I want to say, even after I did that with him, and we did some songs, I still didn't select. Even because he'll play. I was the type of rapper, you know what I'm saying? If the beat sounded dope, didn't have to be a gangster walk beat. It just had to sound dope. It could be an East Coast sounding beat. It could be a West Coast sounding beat. It didn't matter to me. It just long as it sounded dope, it made me I wanted to rap on it. And even though I had on my Lyrical Drive-By was gangster walk music, it was just before. Or right around the same time, Squeaker was starting to pick up on his mixtapes. It was, I think Paul and them, they kind of came after that. But I'm saying that to say that even though I made that Gangsta Walk song and some more Gangsta Walk songs, I think, in my opinion, the mistake I made at that point in time, and it's only because I was looking at it from a rapper, an MC point of view. I didn't just do only Gangsta Walk songs and nothing else. And but that still was broad, and that's good because, sometimes people can get locked into a regional sound. You later got signed for E40, so maybe if you was only doing that, you may have not had the reach to appeal to somebody else somewhere else. And I'm glad you said that because that's probably why I was able to survive as long as I have as an independent, because I don't like to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back, but I can clearly say I have a mass appeal with audiences that a lot of times are not necessarily rap fans, but they are fans of mine.
Right. Yeah, so you've been able to stand the test of time by you being able to adjust and look and network and see what's going on. A lot of rappers don't do that. So it shows ain't a lot of them out there like you that still, I look up and see you everywhere doing your thing. You ain't got no peers that come from your era that's doing that. You don't have any. Right. It's only you.
Well, hey, listen, I appreciate that. But yeah, hey, I appreciate that because I just want all this came about because I was just looking at the fact that the DJs, it seemed like the DJs at the time noticed, man, as long as we just keep playing these songs that make these folks gangster walk, as long as we keep giving them that, that's all they want.
I'm glad you didn't fall in. I'm glad you didn't fall into that because it was really no direction. It was kind of like the blind leading the blind. If you're not a creator of culture, you following something, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, true.
So you've been chasing your own tail at that point. So no, it's pros and cons to both sides.
For
so
sure.
You did what you did, and you where you are because of who you are. So no, you didn't need to follow that. Man, it was tempting. It was tempting.
Oh, no question about it. Sometimes I'll be like,
yeah,
maybe I should, but honestly, I didn't know. I just didn't know, man. I just love hip hop in general. It wasn't like one style. I just knew the Gangsta Walk sound was a Memphis thing, and I loved doing that. But I also loved all other.
Well, if you think about it, see, with Fly is really he kind of slowed it down and put it in a box. Mm-hmm. It was Gangsta Walk Records that wasn't slowed down back then. Because if you go back to the remix of DLC and everything on that first album, you had fast Gangsta Walk, slow Gangsta Walk songs. Yep. But when you narrowed it down in that box, it got stuck there. Yep. So people don't remember MC Light Cha 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 being a Gangsta Walk song because they wasn't there. I've seen that.
Or Special Ed, I Got It Made.
I Got It Made.
There was a gangster walking type of song. When you played it, you gangster walk off of it.
Gangster walk. MC Ron C hit the studio. All that stuff there. Because I was playing those records and what I get is none of my peers around because I guess now we celebrated my 40th year. We said 84. We closed now 2004. I'm going to talk more and do more and be more vocal, but I have to have somebody I respect to talk to like you to delve into that knowledge and talk about those different eras because you don't know it if you wasn't there.
100%. And I had that. I think I talked to. I was doing an interview and I talked to Superman and I told him, we were talking about the fact that most of the early, and I got pushback on the internet for saying this, but I was like, most of the earlier Gangsta Walking songs were actually songs like Everlasting Bass and
DJs, MCs, all that
Gore-Tex
stuff.
And
Gore-Tex. That's a straight up. It's still a
Gangsta band. Those a lot of them,
Gangsta. Yeah.
Those were early Gangsta Walking songs. And we started to, as rappers.
And Notorious, it was a song, Fly used to kill this one. Notorious. I'm notorious.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing can save you.
Doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah,
doom,
it's a
doom.
lot of it.
Bellevue Patient.
Gangsta Walk was a lifestyle. I ain't tripping about Too Short. One of the biggest ones.
Man, what you said, I ain't tripping about Too Short. MC Twist, I like it loud.
Everything. Yeah. So people put it in that box when they slowed it down and didn't understand that, but they not old enough to know. And so I don't get mad at people. When people ask me, I give it to them. And sometimes people like it, and sometimes people hate.
Well,
hate what I say.
I got some of that. What you talking about? Because they were like, so you saying? You know what I'm saying? They I guess they were saying that no, it really started when Zerk and Squeaky they were putting out mixtapes. That's when the Gangsta Walking songs started coming out like but I was one of the dudes, the teenagers on the dance floor, Gangsta Walker when they played Let the Bass Go. I was on the dance floor, we was Gangsta Walkers. We were the kids doing it.
What you got to realize, what you got to realize is, like, I have a 31-year-old daughter. We can't fall into a situation with talking about something with somebody that wasn't there.
Yeah,
you talking to a 31-year-old child about Gangsta Walk and you lived it. The conversation gonna be different.
Yeah.
You have to say respectfully, you might not have been there, you might not understand, or you might not be old enough to know. But this is my version of it. Ain't nobody wrong, man. Were you there in '88? No, you wasn't. So listen to me. I was there. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
So So that's the thing. And our children, so instant gratification type children, they only know. That's why I talk about the DJs that came so far after me. They got a bigger voice, a bigger personality than me. They go out there and sell people their story, and people believe this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they make it law because I don't come on and try to dispute none of it.
Yeah. But hey, but when you speak, when you do speak, and like you said, it don't necessarily have to be to dispute what somebody else said. All you can do is say, I'm gonna tell you from what I saw from my eyes. And I could take you probably pre other people. You know what I'm saying? So
the timeline.
Yeah, the timeline.
I remember going to a meeting. They talking about this Memphis thing, the other thing they talk about. They called me in. Whoever did it was fine. I was like, damn, finally somebody want to know the real history. Okay, somebody called me. I'm gonna go. So I went there, and I remember telling them, I said, listen, without a timeline, you have nothing. So let's talk timeline, and we'll put the story together from there.
Yeah,
it ain't biased to me because you had people older than me. You know, you're Sonny D 10 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I took this turn 53.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So guess what? Well, our Disco Hound is when Jerry Boy and all them come around. I said, man, go talk to Disco Hound. He was there.
Yep.
Shit was happening before I came around. In my area, we did some dope shit, but guess what? We had these guys around like Disco Hound, Sonny D. So go talk to them and then come talk to me because something happened before I came.
Exactly. And I talked to Disco Hound. And he told me, he took me back into the kind of the late 70s.
To the side.
Yeah, he took me like to the 70s coming into the 80s.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is, without a timeline, you can just start it with You can just do 40 years. You can just do mine. Just do from 84 to now, and all the people and the names will fall in line.
Yes.
But when you got all these rappers reaching out there to make their story look so much greater than anybody else's story, they tell a short, narrow, slanted view of it, and I just be like, "Oh shit, they ain't ready to know it yet." So,
and purposely omit stuff that they know. That's what be killing me a little bit too. It's like it's some of this stuff that is some people that talk about the stories and the history, and they were there and they saw you.
Right.
And they either saw you, they was inspired by you, or whatever it was.
They can't skip over.
And they won't even speak on it.
Because
they won't even say a word like you was never there, and you know, man. I looked at you in your eyes, man.
That don't make me mad, Al. Thank you. That don't make me mad, Al. I'm gonna tell you because, you know, it's so much history there, and it's unprinted now. Rest in peace to Pancho, Pepper Brother. Pepper Brother was writing a book I think you should visit because he came. Oh, I lost my wife last year, and the week I lost my wife, this was November 10th, and this was 4 days for that. Before that, me and my wife went down to the public library and did an interview because Pepper's brother Pancho, he got a book called Memphis Beats. He'd been working on it, and I was trying to help him. He called me and picked my brain to get the story right.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it never came out, but I still got it at home.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that's curious, that's interested, the journalists that want to get it right, they say, well, your name keeps coming up. Why? Then I tell them, I was like, okay, well, I was there, bro. And then, too, I never really got into this for money. I got into it to help people, and I like music. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, hold on. You just said a mouthful right there. I think in those early days, most of us got into it for the love of it, and we didn't really know how much money you could really make out of, but I guess our pay was just being able to express it and get some kind of recognition from it.
Pat on the back.
We was happy for that.
$25 check.
We were happy. We just didn't know about the business. We didn't lock into the business end. Because we were so early, you know what I'm saying? And I think people after us realize, hold up, it's money to be made in this.
Okay, don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't let me leave.
Go ahead.
Don't let me leave without saying this statement to you and for your what you're working on. Pioneers never get paid. So guess what? Somebody has any great feat, any great bridge that was built. Somebody died with that. So pioneers never get paid. And so that's why, you know, people don't understand why I don't look at it for money or why I never did things for money.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like that. Somebody had to pave the way for these guys to make money. And so if I could be a part of that, that's my appreciation. I'm a workaholic, bro. I'm a landlord, I'm a DJ, I'm gonna get mine. But I just, you know, pioneers never get paid. Look at New York, Melly Mel.
Yeah.
You know, just so pioneers don't get paid, and you just have to take that on the chin.
I got you.
And say, I was gonna give you an hour in part one, man. I just want to make sure I give you what you need, brother.
For sure. No. That was good. It was good.
Pioneers never get paid, and we got bigger examples than us to prove it.
Man, and I love what you said about people that built the bridge. It's people that died building that bridge. Like,
skyscraper, somebody died building it.
Yeah. They didn't reap the benefits off of building it. They died building it. But it's people that
never got a chance to go in it. They never got a chance to go in the building.
Exactly. But it's people that benefit off of what was already paved and built.
Yeah, so you have to take that and take it on the chin, and people like Glitz and Glamour, I just never been that dude, man. I just always worked for mine and never been mad at nobody and just did my part. And I'm happy with my check.
Gotcha. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? My portion, my work I put in, I'm happy. I go home. Hey, if it ain't enough, I go get me something else to build and make it enough. So, yeah, that was my thing, you know. But I still make money with the relationships I have just because I wasn't greedy, nor did I backstab nobody for nothing.
For sure. Exactly.
And, you know, I ain't got no sad stories about nobody not paying me because I did a fair wage. I did it for a fair rate. I ain't got the problem with Paul and Juice. And guess what? I got paid for what I did. I went home. I was happy with my check.
Real
I
talk.
had 3 checks at the time. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? It wasn't one thing that tried to make me. I just, So I'm happy with the career, man. 40 years later, people still pay me so much money to DJ a year. So what am I gonna be mad about?
100, 100. Well, man, I ain't no take too much of your time, man. I think the next thing, whenever we talk, I want to talk about the DJs that you felt like you influenced, or that that came after that you really.
Superman, you already interviewed one of my students, Boogaloo, Superman, Big Sue. It's a list of them. I tried to spread. Listen, I had this theory back in the day. I was like, the more people I help, the longer I can eat. It's like a tree.
Yeah.
The branches, the longer. Look, we talking about 40 years. You know how many DJs, rappers gone and came in the era that we've seen?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So if you help people, your tree, your branches can grow. I just did Little Rock with Tela. I still go on the road with him when it's beneficial to my schedule and his schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Paul, I'm in negotiation with the sell Coop album. Me and Coop got a whole album, 2 albums that, you know what I'm saying, that he did before he died. So I feel like it's still relevant, and I got paid when I worked, but I kept working, and we still here, just like you, bro. I've been following your career, man. I might not say nothing, I might not call you, but guess what? And I see everything. I'm watching.
For sure.
I'm proud of you.
Man, I appreciate it. Well,
yes,
hey, man, like I said, that's the next thing. I guess I want to talk about that, and then what happened? Where is Cody?
Cody, see, the reason why Cody didn't do what Tela did, Cody wanted to be a family man, and Tela wanted to be a famous rapper. Okay, Cody was in the oil fields in Houston somewhere. He's somewhere. Cody wanted to be a family man.
Gotcha.
Tela wanted to be a rapper.
Okay,
Cody didn't want to deal with this shit.
That makes sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, they went the path where their heart was.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, he still one of the coldest to ever do it out the city, man.
Oh yeah. A lot of people don't even bring them up, man. They be talking about I guess because it was so early on, it's tough for the young people. See, just think about this. Just think about if Paul, Juicy, Yo Gotti, just think about if they never broke nationally. We wouldn't even be talking about that.
True.
I mean, so Memphis music. So some people had to break, and then people had to want to learn the underlying story. But without those people, those artists breaking out, blowing up big, people wouldn't care about the people before them.
You showed, man. You just, that's a dope way to end it, man. Without some people breaking out, nobody would even care to want to know what the story is underlying that, for the people that do want to know. But it took certain people to break out to grab the attention of the masses.
Sure enough, and look how long it took.
It took a long time, and then we got a whole new generation of artists, which it kind of blows my mind because they have no idea.
No idea. They ain't old enough. Glorilla, the hottest shit from Memphis right now. Guess what? She can't be no more than 20-something.
Yep. I think 22, 23, so she has no idea what happened in the late 80s and early 90s, and that paved the way for them to even have something to stand on.
Yeah. She grabbing Yo Gotti songs, Shorty violating and remaking them. And that wasn't that long ago, so guess what? She's 20-something years old. She don't have a clue, but hey, somebody had to build that foundation, that bridge for her to walk on, but it's cool, though.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
It's cool.
All right, my guy, man. I ain't gonna hold you no longer. This was really, really cool, man. You
okay, well, cool. Yeah, for you, brother, for you.
Man,
just call me back. We'll do it again. Yes, sir. Love, bro.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that was another fire interview with my homie DJ Jus Borne. Memphis rap history, man. This is how we do it. We give you the history from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Whoever that is that was around and about that and living the life of Memphis rap history, we're going to bring it to you and let y'all know what's really going on. Everything you never knew, you're going to know right here. So make sure you tune in every Sunday, 2:30. Also, check out any other old episodes that you never heard or listened to before. Check them out. It's so much good history that's already in all those other episodes. But in the meantime, stay locked and loaded, man. Keep your guy locked. It's Al Capone, Al Capeasy, man. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It's all love, baby. Until next time, salute.